Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ijtanibu kathiran min adh-dhanni inna ba'da adh-dhanni ithmun wa la tajassasu wa la yaghtab ba'dukum ba'da وَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَنْ يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتًا فَكَرِهْتُمُوهُ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ تَوَّابٌ رَحِيمٌ سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وبارك وسلم. So in these character building workshops we have been talking about different spiritual diseases that we must work on in order to get the perfection in our character, and as has been explained many times, that character is defined as getting rid of all spiritual ailments, all spiritual diseases. So one of the diseases, spiritual diseases that people have, which is literally destroying our communities, is having bad opinion for others. I recited a few ayat of Surah Al-Hujurat. First thing first, everybody must इसको छोड़ दें यार, पता है इससे बहुत डिस्टर्बेंस होती है एक्सपेरिमेंट से ना, आप देखते रहते हैं ऊपर नीचे, मेरी बहुत डिस्टर्बेंस होती है, छोड़ दें. So, first thing first, that we should all recite and we should all understand Surah Al-Hujurat. Surah Al-Hujurat is that surah which talks about a lot of those things that we all must work on as individuals in order to have a good society, in order to have a good community. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoken in detail about those things that are essential or that are necessities in order to have a good community. So Allah Ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, that O you who believe, ijtanibu kathiran min adh-dhann, that stay away from much suspicion. Inna ba'da dhanni ithmun, because some suspicions are sins. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues, وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا, do not spy, وَلَا يَقْتَبْ بَعْدُكُمْ بَعْدًا, and do not backbite each other. And then Allah ta'ala explained what backbiting is. But my focus today, and inshallah ta'ala, I'll try to keep it short as much as possible, but Allah ta'ala is saying, do not have suspicion, do not have bad opinions of others. By the way, Allah Ta'ala is saying, Allah Ta'ala has not said that do not have bad opinions. Allah Ta'ala is saying that do not even have opinions, much opinions, right? Because some opinions are sins, and we all know which opinions are sins. Bad opinions are sins. But Allah Ta'ala is stopping from even developing opinions for others. Opinion is something that you're not sure of, that if it is that what you are seeing, what you're not sure about, that what the other person is doing, or why is he doing, or why is he saying something. That is an opinion. If you see something doing something, if you see somebody doing something exactly, that is not an opinion. That is a certainty, right? If I see somebody praying, that means I am certain that he is praying. Right? If I see somebody playing football, then I'm certain that he's playing football. But then opinion is that I do not know exactly what that person is doing, and I have an opinion about that he might be doing something. He might be doing this thing or he might be doing that thing. That is an opinion. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, do not have much opinions, because some opinions are sins and those are bad opinions. But when people get out of the habit of having opinions, then of course you will not fall into the category of having bad opinions, right? So Allah Ta'ala is even stopping people from having opinions. What you see exactly, that's what it is. But if you don't see somebody doing something, then just ignore it. It has nothing to do with you, right? I hope you understand what I'm saying. So this is one of the biggest problems of why communities have issues. This is one of the worst characters that people can have, that they have bad opinions of others, right? Even if you're all humans, we do make opinions, but having bad opinions is such a spiritual disease that causes such big problems within communities, right? The question is, why do people have bad opinions? Why do people have bad opinions? The reason people have bad opinions is because their heart is bad. As simple as that. When people's heart have diseases, generally it's a diseased heart, although having bad opinion is another disease. But if people's hearts are diseased, then they have bad opinions of others. There's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that al-mu'minu mir'atul mu'min, that a believer is a mirror of another believer. A believer is mirror of another believer, right? There are two meanings that ulama have explained about this. One is that if you want to know who you are, then ask somebody else, because you will not get to know about you yourself. अगर अपने बारे में जानना चाहते हो तो किसी से पूछो. He is your mirror. He will tell you about your wrong things, and I think even your good things. There are many good things that people might have, but they're not able to identify those good things. But when they ask somebody, what do you think about me? And if the other person is sincere, then the other person will tell you, oh, you know, you have this quality and that quality, and you should explore this and explore that. But definitely about my defects, I will not be able to know my personal defects until and unless somebody tells me, what do you think about, you know, how did I talk? Or what did I say? You tell me, you give me feedback. And if that person is sincere to you, he will give you your feedback. What we call as constructive feedback, right? Just to give it a good name. All that's a negative feedback, right? So anyway, other person tells you the wrongs that I have. That's why it is so important to have your mentor, your guide in your life, who can observe you, who you give authority to, that you observe me, and if you find something wrong in me, then you tell me or you correct me about my wrong things. It is very important to have a mentor in your life, which you call a sheikh, that you give authority to some person, that you please guide me in my life and you correct me for whatever wrongs that I do in my life. And then this person who you take as mentor, as guide, as your sheikh, then he will sometimes maybe correct you directly, or it may be that sometimes he corrects you indirectly. Prophet ﷺ did both. Generally, he corrected people indirectly. So if somebody was doing something wrong, he will address people and then he'll say, oh, what has happened to people that they do such and such thing, right? So this is one meaning of al-mu'minu mir'atul mu'min, that believer is mirror of another believer. But there is another meaning that ulama have explained. And that meaning is that what you see in others is in reality you yourself. What you see in others is you yourself. You are looking at the mirror. You're watching yourself. Right? So for example, if I think, I have an opinion that he's a liar, he always lies. In reality, I lie a lot. That's why I am thinking that he lies a lot. I'm seeing my picture in him. If I think that, oh, he cannot be trusted, or people cannot be trusted. In reality, I am the one who should not be trusted. That's why I think that nobody should be trusted. I'm seeing my picture. I'm seeing the mirror. If I think that, oh, people, they are not sincere. Whatever they do, I don't think that they're sincere in doing what they do. In reality, I am not sincere. That's why I'm thinking of others that they are not sincere. I'm looking at my own picture. So people, when their heart is diseased, right, that's when they have bad opinions about others. And you can, if you're sincere with yourself, check yourself. When you have bad opinion about others, if you have bad opinions like these, that people lie, people cannot be trusted, people are not sincere, or anything like that, you do your own muhasabah, you have some self-reflection, and look at and be sincere to yourself, and you will find out that this is what you are. You can't be trusted. You can't be, since you are not sincere, etc. I've often given this example, this story. Once, my father, like 2 years ago, or maybe around 3 years ago now, subhanAllah, he got his paralysis attack for the first time, so I flew to Pakistan in emergency the same day. So one of my relatives, he came from another town. So me and my brother, we both reached Pakistan, and we were in and out of the hospital. So once I was rushing to the hospital, it was getting late. So suddenly what happened was that the water pipe broke. Water wasn't coming. I called the plumber, and this relative of mine who also flew from the other town, he was there as well. So this plumber, he checked, and he said that the water valve is broken. That's what he said. And it will take, like, say, another 30 minutes to get it fixed. So I was rushing to the hospital, so I said to this relative of mine, you know what, here is the money. He is like, say, 200 rupees. So this plumber is saying that the valve is broken, so please let him fix it, and once he fixes it, check the water levels, check the water, and then you please give him this 200 rupees. So I'm going to the hospital. So when I said this to him, so this relative of mine said, no, this plumber is lying. Jhoot bol raha hai. In reality, there is nothing wrong with the valve. He's lying. And I looked at him. I said, why would he be lying? What's the reason? He's just making money by getting the valve fixed. The valve is not wrong, is not bad. So I was in a rush. I said, forget about it. Right? If he's saying it's bad, let's fix it, let's change it. Here's the money, I'm going. So I went. That night or next night, possibly, my father got a little better, so we brought him home. And we were all sitting together, so me, my brother, this relative of mine, my mom as well, I think. And we were all sitting, so this relative of mine said that, I went to the masjid to pray, and while I was coming back, our neighbors, he met me. So this relative of mine said that our neighbors met him, and he asked him that, where is my father? He hasn't seen him for 2-3 days. Where is he? Is everything okay? So my relative said that I said to the neighbors, yeah, everything is okay. Everything is fine. I looked at him. I said, why did you say that everything is okay? Didn't you know that my father has got this paralysis attack? You should have told him that he's not okay. So he's whispered in my ears, you know what, this is what I said to him. I'm just telling your father that I said to him that everything is okay. And I was so confused. That what is he trying to say? Where is the truth? Did he say to him, or did he not say to the neighbors? Or if he said to the neighbors, then why is he saying to my father that he did not say to the neighbors? And then I suddenly linked everything to that plumber thing. That why was he thinking that the plumber is lying? Because he has the habit of lying. So he thinks everybody lies. If people think bad about others, and if they are sincere to themselves, they should look into their own hearts and see if that thing is in them. Because it may be that they are seeing their own picture when they are looking at others. And the other way is also right. Good people see good in others. Good people always see good in others. Good-hearted people see good in others. They think that, oh, people should be trusted. Why not? Why shouldn't be people trusted? He's a good man. He's a person of deen outwardly. Mashallah, he's a nice man. Why should I not trust him? For what? Oh, why would he be lying? What's the point for him? What's the reason for him to lie? So good people see good in others. Bad people see bad in others. Bad people think of bad about others. In reality, you see your own picture. That's why people have bad opinions. But that is a big sin. Bad opinion about others. Allah Ta'ala is saying in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ijtanibu kathiran min al-dhann, inna ba'da al-dhanni ithmun. Oh, you believe, don't have much suspicions, don't have much opinions, because out of those opinions, some opinions will be sins. And not just a small sin, huge sin, kabira, major sins. And those major sins that will cause fitna, that will cause issues in the community. Right? Subhanallah. People, anything goes wrong, oh, magic is done on you, magic is done on you. And then they start thinking, who will have done magic on them? And the shaitan will come and relate to khala, mamu, chacha, popo, uncle, aunt, grandmother, sister, brother. Now their opinion, they're thinking, he must have done it, or she must have done it, right? And then what will happen? Just think about it. That the next time they'll go to their house, they won't even drink tea, right? They will offer tea and he will just avoid that. Possibly he will not even go by the first thing first. He will just cut off. For what? Just having opinions that the other person might have done magic on me. Two, even if he goes somehow, they will offer tea, they will offer something to eat, and he will not drink tea, will not have anything to eat. Just imagine what's happening. At'imut ta'am. Feed people food for what? So that love can come in the hearts for each other. Here is the other person offering you food and you're not eating. The opposite will happen. Instead of love coming, hatred will come. Where did it all start from? Opinions. It is not a small thing, it's a huge thing. It's a major sin. It's that major sin that causes fitna in the societies, in the communities, in the families. And Allah Ta'ala says that wal fitnatu ashaddu min al qatl. Fitna is even it's even worse than killing somebody. If a person kills another person, that's huge sin, right? But when people cause fitna, it's not only killing one person, it's killing the whole communities, societies. And then it may not only stay there for some time, but rather it will stay there for generations to come sometimes. I've seen people that, the two people say are not in talking terms with each other, their children will also not be in talking terms with each other. And it may also happen that their children might not be in talking terms with each other. It may also trigger to the generations to come. This is how bad it is. And where did it all start from? Maybe just an opinion, a bad opinion. Su'uzan, as we say it in Arabic. Bad opinion. So we must finish that, stop that. Don't have bad opinions about others. Even if you have to have opinion, have good opinions about others. Acha soche logon ke bare mein. Why don't we think good about others? What's stopping us to think good about others? There's a hadith from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, "Dhunnu bil mu'minina khairan." That think good about believers. Once Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was explaining about a story from Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, once he saw that the other person is stealing, chori kar raha hai. He saw with his eyes that he is stealing. So Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam he called that person. When he came with that thing that he has stolen, so Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam said, you have stolen it. Chori kiya tumne. So that person said, by Allah, I have not stolen it. Sayyidina Isa saw it with his eyes. This person said, by Allah, I have not stolen it. So Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam said, look at what he said. He said, my eyes have lied and you have spoken the truth. Teri aankh ne jhoot bola, tumne sach bola. Subhanallah. He has seen it. It's not an opinion. He said, my eyes have lied and you have spoken the truth because you have taken the name of Allah. Because you have taken an oath by Allah, you are right, you must be right. My eyes must have seen something wrong. What does it mean? Ulama have explained it is that maybe it was that the other person might have taken something of his, and in order to take his right, he has just taken it from his wealth, which is allowed in our Shariat as well, right? Well, there is detail to that. It's not as simple as that. But anyway, he said, my eyes must have lied. You must have spoken the truth. This is what Deen is about. Do we eat meat? गोश्त खाते हैं कि बकरी हैं? Right. Have we ever seen anybody slaughtering the meat with our own eyes? Except if you are in Sharjah and you go to the bird market and maybe you see him. But generally speaking, we get meat from the grocery store, from the supermarket, right? We have not seen that person slaughtering the meat. We have an opinion that he must have said Bismillah before that he had slaughtered the meat. Otherwise, how difficult it would be for us to eat meat. I think the only way that we can have is maybe have our own farm in our backyard and our own goats and chickens, and we just slaughter by ourselves. Otherwise, it would be impossible almost to eat meat. But this is Deen. This is what Prophet ﷺ has taught us. Once there was somebody who became a new Muslim, and that person sent meat to Prophet ﷺ. And said, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha asked the Prophet ﷺ, should we eat this meat? Right? He's a new Muslim, don't know if he has said Bismillah or not on that. So Prophet ﷺ said, just eat. Just say Bismillah and eat. People misunderstand this hadith. But he said, just say Bismillah and eat. And in other words, just eat. He's a Muslim, right? So if he's a Muslim, so just assume that he must have said Bismillah. This is have opinion, good opinion about others. Once in a battlefield, one Sahabi radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he approached the enemy, a disbeliever, and as he was about to hit him, this other person said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. So this Sahabi said, oh, you are proclaiming kalima just so that you are safe from me, so that I don't kill you. He said, you are lying, and he killed him. And he went to the Prophet ﷺ and told him the whole story. He said, Ya Rasulullah, there was one person in the enemy, and as I was about to kill him, he said, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, but I know he was lying. He was saying it so that I don't kill him, and I killed him, Ya Rasulullah. Prophet ﷺ got so upset. His face turned. His face changed. Turned red. And he said, did you look into his heart? Did you open his heart and look into it? Did you open his heart and look into it? Did you open his heart and look into it? He kept on repeating that. कि तुमने उसके दिल को चीर के देखा था? How come you are saying that he was saying kalima to protect himself? Did you look into his heart? Did you look into his heart? Did you look into his heart? Did you open his heart? Did you cut open his heart and look into it? The Sahabi said, Prophet ﷺ said it so many times, I wish that I was not a Muslim at that time. I wish that I was not a Muslim at that time, because Islam is that thing that removes every single sin. I wish that I had become a Muslim after that, so that it had washed that of my sin as well. Mera wo guna bhi maaf ho jata. It was such a big thing that I did, that I had a bad opinion about somebody who was saying kalima. How come did I think that he is saying it just to save his life? This is such a common thing, subhanallah, that people, they just have opinions, and generally bad opinions. It's very interesting, by the way, that if you notice in people around you, that if you tell a good thing about somebody, it's so hard for them to believe in that. If I, for example, tell somebody, he's a good man. If I tell you that he's a good man, right? Really? He's a good man? But, the other day he was doing that. It will be so hard for me to convince him that he's a good man. But I come and tell, you know what? That person sitting there, he's an evil. Shaitan hai. Oh yeah, you're right. I also agree to that. It is so hard to convince people that somebody is good as opposed to convincing somebody that he's an evil. This has become our mentality. People think bad about others, have bad opinion about others. And it's so hard for them to think that somebody can be good as well. Koi acha bhi ho sakta hai insan. It's our diseased heart. And that is causing hatred in the communities. Dilon mein nafratein baith gayi. Mohabbatein ut gayi. Love has been lifted. Families are broken. Communities are broken. Brother has left his brother. Parents have left their children. Students have left their teachers. Students have left their mashayikh just for having an opinion. Just for having an opinion. One of the teachers said that don't say anything against anybody until that you have a proof that you can take to the court and prove it against him. Don't say anything about anybody until that you have a proof, not only a proof for yourself, a legal proof that you can present to the court. जब तक ऐसा दलील ना हो जो अदालत में पेश करके साबित कर सको, and not only in any court, I would add on to it an Islamic court. And you know what is an Islamic court? Islam says that, say for example, you blame somebody that he or she has done zina. How do you prove that? That you have seen it with your eyes. Not only that you have seen it with your eyes, there are 3 more people who have seen it with their eyes. 4 witnesses. Not only just seeing it, look at them under the tree. No. You have seen it closely. You have seen the actual act happening closely. There is the detail of that in our Sharia. It's closely, the detail of what closeness means. You've actually seen the act happening with your eyes, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 people. Then it will be proven. If a person comes to the court and says that I have seen another person doing zina, he will say, provide witnesses. Provide 4 witnesses. And witness who have seen it happening closely. And if he says, I don't have, what will happen? He will be punished. While he might have seen it. He might have actually seen it happening. But because he was not able to provide 3 more witnesses, and even those witnesses, they have not been able to see it closely, this person or these people will be punished instead. and had will be implemented on them of slandering somebody. This proof. So one of my teachers said that if you don't have such a proof that you can provide in a court, don't say that thing about that person, because you will have to prove that on the day of judgment. You will have to prove that on the day of judgment for what you are saying about others. तुम्हें उसको अल्लाह की अदालत में साबित करना होगा कल को. You'll have to prove that in front of Allah. And if you're not able to prove that, what you're saying today about another person in front of Allah, then you can know what will happen on that day. Ma'azallah. उसको जैसे छोटा समझते हैं, we think about it as if it is nothing when we say things about others. We don't even think twice as to what are we saying about other. कि हम क्या कह रहे हैं किसी के बारे में. Right? Somebody just says it and we just take it and we just pass it on, without even knowing what we are saying, what we are doing. Can you prove that on the day of judgment? If you can't, then why are you saying it today? This has become a norm. This has become a fashion, I would say. And especially with the WhatsApp and Facebook and all of that, Twitters and whatnot. Somebody would just say it. And I don't know how come people can say it without, knowing it, or especially if they're lying. How can they say it? Don't they fear that they will have to stand up in front of Allah on the day of judgment? And somebody will just take it, maybe a Twitter, or maybe just a Facebook post, or maybe it's like a WhatsApp message or something. How can people take it and forward it to anybody else, or talk about it to others? Just talking about it. When you bring it on your tongue, then we are responsible for that. Prophet ﷺ has said that people are not held responsible for a thought that may come in their head, but then they are held responsible for when they bring it on their tongue or they act upon it. सोच पे मुआखज़ा नहीं है. जब ज़बान पे आती है चीज़ और जब कोई अमल होता है, कोई एक्शन होता है, तब उनका मुआखज़ा होता है. Then they are held accountable for that. Because shaitan is there. He's putting wasawis in our heads, right? It may be that shaitan puts a waswasa, why is he sitting like that? Look, since he is somewhere else, he's not listening to me. That's what shaitan is saying to me. Right? So, a thought is a thought. But once I say it, you specifically are not listening to me. I can say generally that people don't listen, some people sleep because there might be one or two who are somewhere else. But pinpointing somebody, look at his eyes, sleepy eyes, I can have an opinion that he might not be listening to me, but if I pinpoint on him, that's an opinion. I'll have to prove that. And I cannot. Kar sakta hu prove that he's not listening to me. Nobody can prove that he's not listening. I don't know how can people say things. Don't they fear Allah? Don't they know that they have to stand up on the day of judgment? And on top of that, those people who forward that without confirming it, they are equally responsible. Prophet ﷺ has said in one of the hadiths that it is enough for a person to be called a liar that he forwards anything that he hears without confirming. And I don't have to lie in order to be called a liar. If I take something, pass that on without confirming it, I will be labeled as a liar. That thing might be even true. What such bhi ho sakta hai. But if I take a thing without confirming, pass it on, I will be labeled as a liar. كفى بالمرء كذبا أن يحدث بكل ما سمع أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. And subhanallah, people, the way that they forward WhatsApps these days, don't even read it possibly themselves, but they forward it. to their groups and whatnot. I don't know if I told you this story or not, but once my son, who was in Pakistan, he got some stomach flu or some stomach problems. So the doctor recommended him a certain medicine, a certain antibiotic. So he was taking that. Ajib, Allah Ta'ala ki taraf se qudratan, what happened was that somebody sent a WhatsApp message to my wife about that particular medicine. And the message was, oh, beware of this medicine because this is killing people. People are taking it and people are dying out of it. Now imagine the state of the heart of my wife. My son is taking that medicine, he's doing that antibiotic course, and somebody is sending a message right at that time, during those days, that this medicine is killing others. Beware of this medicine. And warn others. My wife, she read that and I was there and she said, oh, Abdullah is taking this medicine, right? I said, yeah, he's taking. Oh, look at this message. I said, forward it to me. So she sent me and I thought, let me ask Imam Sahib, what does he think about it? So I searched Imam Google Sahib. Said, what do you think about this medicine? Imam Google, mashallah, knows everything. So he took me to a website. Basically, I think it was either a newspaper, it was some newspaper website or that medicines company itself. I can't remember exactly. But then they said, you know what, this news has been circulated on the social media and know that this is all fake. There's nothing, no truth about it. You know, please, if you hear this thing, so don't forward it, something like that. So possibly it was a newspaper article, something like that. So I told my wife, you know, don't worry, you know, this is fake news, just relax. And she said, can you send me back this link to me that you have found out, that this news is fake? So I forwarded her link and she forwarded back to the person who had sent it to her. He said, did you investigate before sending it to me? Did you investigate before forwarding this to me? She said, no. He said, do you know what does it mean? What can it do to people? Have you thought about it? What can it do to people? Right? This was like a perfect example actually. You know, our son was taking that medicine and the state of her heart for that time, like whatever, 5, 10, 15 minutes, was that, oh my God, you know, he has been taking this medicine. And if I had not investigated as well, I would have felt bad as well. But anybody can have a heart attack or anything like that. People don't even think, what are they doing? Right? You thought it's a sidetrack. But the thing is that if somebody forwards us something, and we also make an opinion based on that thing without even investigating if that thing is right or wrong. And we don't know that what does it mean. And not only that, we have an opinion, we also pass our opinion to others. And then it creates a fitna, it creates like a cycle, a chain. And I always think, you know, first thing first, we should not be sinning, right? If we sin, we should do tawbah. We should ask Allah for forgiveness and make a commitment to Allah, Ya Allah, I will never do that again. And I say, don't sin that you will not be able to do tawbah afterwards. See, if I make an opinion about person A, a bad opinion, and I tell all of you, you know, person A is bad. And you take my words and you go and tell another 50 people, you know, person A is bad. Those 50 people tell another 100 people, you know, person A is bad. Now I found out, oh no, person A was not bad. I was wrong. I did not think right. What I thought was actually based on, you know, wrong things, wrong facts. And I come to you, maybe I can come to you and say, you know what, I gather all of you, I do ruju from what I said, person A was not bad. Now you have said it to another 50 people, those 50 have said it to another 100 people, the 100 might have said it to another 1,000 people. How will I be able to make tawbah? Because in order to do tawbah, I must rectify that situation. This part of tawbah. I must rectify that situation. And if I'm not able to rectify that situation, that tawbah is incomplete. Now I will be held responsible for all of those thousands of people that know about person A being bad, and it started from me. How can I fix that? तो अल्लाह से माफ़ी मांग सकता हूँ. That's all what I can do. And I can make dua for that, Ya Allah, give ajr to person A for all the wrong things that people are talking about him. But say if everybody was a person of iman, a person of character, even if you all have heard from me that person A is bad, you must not have passed it down to another 50 people. If you all were, if I was bad and you were good, then you must not have passed it down to anybody else. अगर मैं बुरा हूँ और आप अच्छे हैं, तो अगर मैं किसी के बारे में बुरा कहूँगा भी, तो आप किसी को भी नहीं कहेंगे. You will not pass it down to anybody. Because what did I say? In order to say something, you must have a proof that you can provide in a court of law. I don't know if people are understanding or not. This is huge. बहुत बड़ी बात है. It's not a small thing. And we say things about others and have opinion about others as if it's an ice cream. As if you're eating ice cream. मज़ा आता है ना? Subhanallah, flan person, oh, he has become rich. Oh, he must have done corruption. That's why he's become so rich. Oh, he's bought a new car. Where did he get money from? You know what? I think that he's doing corruption somewhere. He's stealing some people's money. That's why he must have, gone this bigger car. Come on, man. Come on. Right? If I get a newer car, say, I'm not getting, by the way. I can say, and somebody might think, Maulvi Admi, where is he getting a new car from? Maybe somebody has gifted it to me. Maybe my mother has gifted it to me. Maybe my mother-in-law has gifted it to me, right? Anything can happen, isn't it? But people start thinking, he's a corrupt man. He's stealing money. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. That's what people do. There was, I don't know if you've heard about Stalin, one dictator from Russia. Once he was taking a bath and he lost his wristwatch. So he said, asked all of these guards and all of these people who are around me, somebody must have stolen this. So investigation started, and many people were taken into custody, many people were interrogated, who has stolen his watch. And after some time, he found his watch was lying just there. And he said, no. Nobody has stolen it, I found it. So when he said to some of his officers, he said, but by the way, there are 5 people who have said that they have stolen it. They've accepted that they have stolen it. There are 5 people. What did he do? What did all of these people do? They just interrogated them and must have beaten them, punished them, and they must have forced them to say that they have stolen this watch. This is what happens. Welcome to Pakistan. And you'll find some of these stories there. This is a joke actually, that if you go to a jail, even if you put a donkey into jail, he will be saying the other day, yeah, I'm the criminal. But where did it all start from? Bad opinions. Don't have opinion until that you can prove it. You can interrogate. Interrogation is fine, but not based on an opinion. If, say, for example, I lost money in the house, from within the house. Now I know that there are 5 people in the house, right? My family and 2 workers. Say, for example, 2 people who are helpers, who are workers, a driver and a maid, for example. I know I've lost, I'm 100% sure that I've lost it from within the house. I did not take it out, 100% surety. Of course, I have to interrogate. Interrogation has no issue. But don't just blame, maid must have taken it, maid must have stolen it, driver must have stolen it. Don't. Because anything can happen. It might be that you might have put it somewhere and you have forgotten about it. You never know. So interrogation is fine. You can ask people around, but without having bad opinion. Otherwise, it's a sin. In Sahih al-Bukhari, Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, she narrates that there was a woman who used to come to me, and she used, from another town, and she used to always say a couplet. And that couplet in Arabic actually means that that there is a strange story from my Rabb in that incident of the necklace, because I was saved from disbelief because of that incident. So the couplet actually meant that there is a strange story from my Lord in that incident of necklace, because based on that story I was saved from disbelief. So always, whenever she would meet Sayyidah Aisha, she would always say this. So once Sayyidah Aisha asked her, what is this story? Why did you always say this? What is the story behind it? So she said that I used to live in another town, in the place where there were place where there were disbelievers. And once there was a small girl who wore a necklace, and she came out, and she lost her necklace. The small girl lost her necklace. And basically the necklace came out from her neck. And there was an eagle who came and took that necklace away. The necklace fell down, and an eagle came and took that necklace away. And people started investigating that as to who took the necklace, and because I was the poorest person in that town, people blamed me that she must have taken the necklace. And he said, people took me and started beating me that take the necklace out. He said, so much so that they took my clothes off. But they could not find the necklace. And while they were investigating, while they were searching, the eagle came and dropped the necklace right in front of them. And then they found out that what they did to me was wrong. But I was so shocked with that incident that I left that, and I came to Medina Munawwara and I accepted Islam. He said, strange is a story from my Rabb about that necklace, that because of that story, I came out of disbelief. But the reason that I'm mentioning that is this is what people do. It can actually beat people to death. It can slander people, it can accuse people, it can dishonor people. लोगों को बेइज्जत कर देते. Right? So anyway, please, Allah said, done it. Fear Allah. Don't think bad about others, because inna ba'da dhanni ithmun. Some opinions are a sin, and not only a normal sin, a huge sin. Bade gunah, bada gunah. It can cause breakages in the communities, in the societies, and it spreads hatred amongst people, right? Nafrat hai phailati ye cheez. Please do not forward things that you are not sure of. Somebody sent me a message once, right? Oh, Dubai has implemented very strict rules of traffic. And then what they wrote down was really strange. And I was thinking, subhanallah, ajeeb, suddenly such big changes in the traffic rules. But then I again asked Imam Sahib, what about new traffic laws? But Imam Sahib did not give me anything. So I messaged that person back. I said, oh, where did you get this from? I searched for it, I didn't find it. And said, oh, somebody just forwarded it to me. I said, did you investigate? No. Come on. Ajeeb. Please don't forward things. If you hear something about somebody, if it's a good thing, you can pass on. No problem with that. If it's a good thing about somebody, you can pass that on. MashaAllah, that person, he did Hajj. MashaAllah, that person did Umrah. MashaAllah, that person, he gives in charity. He's a good person. He's a generous man. If it's a good thing about somebody, do pass it on. No problem with that. But if it's a bad thing about somebody, please do not pass it down. If you really want to pass it down, then first investigate. If you think that you will save somebody from his evil, if you think like that, then first investigate. And once you are 100% sure of that this thing that you are hearing is right, and I must save others from his evil, then first investigate about that. And once you are 100% sure, that surety that you can take it to a court of law, that sort of surety, that sort of a proof, then you can pass it down to others just so that you can save others from his fitna and his evil. That's fine. But then the niyat should be that. And that thing should be that big, not a small thing. Choti baat nahi honi chahiye. Right? Otherwise, people, if we start looking into our own self, we'll find 100,000 issues in our own self as opposed to one issue in somebody else. Padi apni buraiyon pe jab nazar, to jahan mein koi bura na raha. And that's true. Bahadur Shah Zafar Rahmatullah Alayhi wrote this, right? That when I started looking at my own faults, I did not find anybody bad in the whole world. If somebody might have one thing wrong or 10 things wrong, I have 1,000 things that are wrong, and I must fix myself. I must focus on myself as opposed to start looking into other people's faults. What's the point of talking about other people's faults when I also have 100,000? It doesn't make sense to me. It is illogical that I'm talking about wrong things about others when I myself have so many wrongs. And the last thing before I end, you know what? Allah Ta'ala has an usul. Allah Ta'ala has an usul. And that usul is that tit for tat, as we say in English. Whatever you do, same shall be done to you. Jaisa karoge, vaisa bharoge. This is an usul of Allah. This is a principle set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever you will do, same shall be done to you. If you slander somebody, you will be dishonored. Either in this dunya, if not, then definitely on the day of judgment. And if you honor somebody, you will be honored in this dunya or definitely on the day of judgment. That's an usul. Dunya ajab bazaar hai, kuch jins yahan ki saath le. This is a poem that I read when I was in grade 6 or 7, I think, or 8. And for some reason it just got stuck in my head until now. Dunya ajab bazaar hai, kuch jins yahan ki saath le. नेकी का बदला नेक है, बद दे बदी की बात ले, मेवा खिला मेवा मिले, फल फूल दे फल पात ले, क्या खूब सौदा नक़द है, इस हाथ दे उस हाथ ले. Whatever you will do, same shall be done to you. If you give fruits to others, you will be given fruits. If you give thorns to others, you will be given thorns. Man satara musliman satarahu Allahu yawm al-qiyamati. Whoever hides people's faults, Allah Ta'ala will hide his faults on the day of judgment. And if you reveal people's faults, then your faults will be revealed in this dunya and akhirah. If you honor somebody, you will be honored. If you disrespect somebody, you will be disrespected. Prophet ﷺ said that when young people, they respect their elders, they will not die. These young people will not die until that these people will become old, and Allah Ta'ala will bring those young people who will respect Him. Wallahu fi auni al-abdi ma kana al-abdu fi ma kana al-abdu fi auni akhihi. Aw kama qala alayhi salatu wassalam. Allah is helping that person as long as that person is helping his brother. If I go out to help you, during that time that I'm helping you, Prophet ﷺ said that Allah Ta'ala will be taking care of one of my needs. Irhamu man fil ardi yarhamukum man fis sama. You show mercy on those that are on the earth, and one in the heavens will show mercy on you. Tit for tat. So whenever we do anything, we should always think that what I want that should be done to me. Or before that, Just think for a moment, if that thing was done to me, what would have been my response and reaction to that? If I say bad things about somebody, say for example, if the same was done to me, what would have been my response? मुझे कोई बुरा भला कह रहा हो, मुझे कैसा लगेगा? What would I feel? Think about it for a moment. How would I feel? Right? If I say bad thing about somebody without a proof, if somebody was saying anything about me without a proof, how would I feel? And I tell you, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. It's a very, very, very tough feeling to have. अगर कोई मेरे बारे में गलत बात कहे, गलत बात, right, without having any truth to it, it's a very tough feeling to have. The heart breaks. If I feel that, then how can I say anything bad about anybody without a proof? Okay, let's assume another thing. I've done something wrong. Say, I've done something wrong. And that's true. And somebody knows about that 100%, not 99, 100%. What will I want from him? I will want that he hides my thing. Don't tell it to anybody, even though that's 100% right, isn't it? I'm embarrassed. I've done something wrong, say. And he knows it. I will want that, please, don't tell it to anybody. Right? That's what I'll want from him. If that's what I want from him, when I got to know about somebody's fault, why don't I do the same? Because that's what he's thinking exactly right now as well. Put yourself in his position. When you say or do something to somebody or about somebody, think about it. And if you can't do that, then at least do this. That Allah Ta'ala will do the same to me what I'm doing to others. Because that's the principle set by Allah in this dunya. Whatever you will do, same shall be done to you. Isko soch liya kare. Please, Khuda ke vaste, for God's sake. Think about these things. And inshallah Ta'ala, if we start thinking like that, we'll be living in Jannat, literally. We'll be living in Jannat. This place, this community, this society will become Jannat. When we have good opinion about others, we talk good about others, we say good about others, we hide people's faults, we forgive people for the sake of Allah Ta'ala. Even if somebody has done something wrong, we forgive him for the sake of Allah Ta'ala, etc. Just imagine how good the community will become, how good the city will become, how good this world will become. And this is what Deen of Islam has brought. Akhlaq, character. You know what ulama do? If, say, for example, somebody does something that could have taken him out of the folds of Iman, they will think about it. They will research into it. And if there were 99 reasons for taking him outside the fold of Islam, and there was one reason that you could give him benefit of doubt and keep him within the fold of Islam, they will take that one thing and will leave the 99. That's an usul. According to ulama haq, the right scholars, they will somehow give people benefit of doubt. How can you give fatwa to keep him within the fold of Islam as opposed to trying to push him outside the fold of Islam? And this is also something that is done which I've hardly seen getting implemented. It is said from our mashayikh that if you hear something about somebody or you see doing something, then you give him benefit of doubts and you give him 99 doubts before that you can accept that thing from him. Have you ever seen that happening? I have not seen it happening anywhere. कि पहले उसको 99 उज़र दो, इससे पहले कि तुम इस चीज़ को एक्सेप्ट कर लो उस शख्स के बारे में. मैंने तो आज तक इस चीज़ को इम्प्लीमेंट होते हुए नहीं देखा. बल्कि if there were 99 reasons for giving him benefit of doubt and one reason for blaming him, I've seen people taking that one reason to blame him as opposed to taking those 99 reasons to let him go. ये करते हैं हम लोग.
What a shame. Honestly, what a shame. Allah ka khauf hi nahi hai. We don't have fear of Allah in our hearts. And that's why we are living in a hell. We're living in a hell. We have made this place hell ourselves. And the last thing, although this is what we say to all of us, and this is what our principles should be, but also for ourselves, for all of us, Prophet ﷺ has said another thing, that ittaqu mawadi at-tuhum, that you stay away from the places where you can be blamed, or you stay away from those states that you can be blamed. That is another the hukam of the Prophet ﷺ for all of us, so that if there is a shaitan outside, he should not find any reason to blame us. He should not find any reasons to think bad about us. So although we should have good opinion about others, but ourselves, we should also have one more thing, that we should also do those things that do not give any opportunity to anybody else to have a bad opinion about others, about us. ये भी हमारे करने का काम है. That famous story, possibly everybody might have heard that once Prophet ﷺ was in i'tikaf, and Sayyidah Safiya radiallahu ta'ala anha came to meet him. And Prophet ﷺ, he came all the way to the door of Masjid Nabawi to see her off, out of her respect, to honor her. This was the love of the Prophet ﷺ for his wives. He had sunnat, right, as well, to respect and honor your wives. So it was dark at night, of course, no lights. So there were two Sahaba who were entering the masjid. And when they entered the masjid, Prophet ﷺ said, "Oh, by the way, it's Safiya with me." So they said, "Ya Rasulullah, why did you say that?" He said, "Did you think that we would think that you are with some strange woman in the dark by yourself? Do you think that we will think like that? That you, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, would be, in isolation with a strange woman in the dark night? How could we think that like that, Ya Rasulullah?" He said, and that's when he said, "Inna shaitana yajri min al-insani majra dami." The shaitan is flowing in the blood. Shaitan might come and put this waswasa in your head that, you know what, I'm with the strange woman in the dark by myself. So I just wanted to clarify that this is Safiya, my wife, and nobody else. And then he said, "Ittaqu mawadi at-tuham." Don't let even have a bad opinion about you. So do those things that are so clear that will not leave any doubt or any question mark in anybody's head. And this is what we should do. But of course, there might be situations when another person might think bad about us, but we should try to ignore all of such situations. We should try to be so crystal clear in our dealings and the way that we do things that nobody should have any doubt whatsoever in his mind, except that he doesn't even know the basic rules of Sharia. What can you do about him then? There is no cure to ignorance. Jahalat ko koi ilaj nahi. Jahalat ko koi ilaj nahi. Once I was in a masjid in England, I think. It was England. And there was a talk, and after the talk, there was food served in the masjid. And I sat, and I started eating. I was talking to somebody. Somebody came, and he said, by the way, you should follow sunnahs. I said, Jazakallah khair, you're so right. I should follow sunnahs. What sunnah did I not follow? He said, you did not wash your hand before the food. I said, may Allah give you jazai khair for what you have said. But is it necessary to wash your hand a second before that you start eating? Is it necessary to wash your hand a second before that you start eating? I might have washed it 15 minutes ago. And if I've not touched anything dirty in those 15 minutes, why should I waste water and wash it again the second time? Right? He should have thought he should have thought positive about me, right? But of course, that was a bad opinion that he had in his mind of me. But that bad opinion was more so because of his jihalat, because of his ignorance. Because he thought that it is a must, it is a sunnat that you must wash your hand a minute before that you start eating. It is not. If you eat spoon with rice, oh my God, there's so many people who will start looking at you, as if you don't even know the sunnah of eating. And somebody might say to you as well, you should eat with your hands. हाथ से खाया करें. तो उन्हें पहले बंदा कहे, am I eating with my feet? I'm eating with my hands, of course. हाथ से खा रहा हूँ और किससे खा रहा हूँ? But they think that it is haram to eat, to use spoon. It's against sunnah. As opposed to that they should have a good opinion that this might also be a sunnah way. People will just, filter you with the eyes of their ignorance, with the eyes of their jihalat. And they will judge you based on their jihalat. There's no cure to ignorance. Kya kare? I was in Pakistan, I was giving a talk in a university. And while the talk was going on, suddenly the azan went off. And I did not stop. I continued with my talk. But right in the middle, I stopped. And I said, who amongst you is thinking right now that what sort of a person is he that he did not even stop while the azan was going on? And mashallah, there were some sincere students and they raised their hands. They said, I'm thinking that, why did you not? So I said, Jazakallah khair, mashallah, you're honest. That you thought, that you are saying that you thought about it. And I said, then I told them the Shari masla. I said, look, giving jawab, answering the call, answering to the azan is a good thing. And what I'm doing right now, talking to you, is also a good thing. So it's illogical to stop a good thing to do another good thing. Right? It's illogical. And then explain. Say, for example, there were 3 masajid here, one here, one here, one here. And say all of these azans had gone off with a difference of 5 minutes, say, and they took 5 minutes each to give azan. So do you think that for 15 minutes we'll just stop and just be giving replies to their azan? They said, no. He said, look, you were thinking bad about me because of your ignorance. And I said, do you know why did I stop and I asked you this question? Because right now shaitan is with you, or will come to you and will tell you that there is no point listening to this man who does not even know, who doesn't even follow the sunnahs. So what's the point of listening to what he is saying? He said, that's why I clarified. And I stopped myself. But see, if they had this opinion, then you know what? Oh, until now we thought that you must stop and reply back to the azan when a talk is going on. Oh, but now today we got to know based on his action that this is also right. If they had a good opinion, nothing would have gone wrong. But because we don't have this habit of having good opinion about others, that's why we think like that. So please, there's no cure to ignorance. Lekin, if people have knowledge, right, and if we are really doing something wrong, then they can have bad opinions. So we should try to ignore any such thing that can even bring any wrong opinion in their head, even have a waswasa from shaitan. They might not say it, they might not act about it, but the fact that we are giving them an opportunity that they might be thinking bad about us, we should even ignore. We should even avoid that. When you go to a mall, don't park your car in cinema parking. Right? Because if you're coming in the mall from that place, somebody might see you and say, oh, you know what, Maulvi Sahib is coming after watching the latest Hollywood movie, right? He might think about that, like that. Although he should not think like that. We should give him benefit of doubt. He might have gone to the toilet there. He might have gone to drink water there, right? Lekin, we are giving them this opportunity. We are giving shaitan an opportunity to put this waswasa in their head. We should not even avoid that. So may Allah Ta'ala give us all tawfiq that we be able to think good about others. Think good about others. Think good about others. And even if shaitan does put a waswasa in our head, then we should not say it, not pass it down to others, not talk about it, not mention it, so that we do not become those who become the source of fitna and cause hatred in this dunya, because we are here to spread love and not hatred. Please. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Somebody might also think, why is he taking only one sip? Sunnat is taking 3 sips. Kisne socha? Anybody? कोई honest नहीं है इधर. ये बहुत अच्छे लोग बैठे हैं माशाल्लाह. If you have to drink the whole glass, then you drink in 3 sips or more, 3 or 4 sips. If you only have to take 1 sip, how can you split my 1 sip into 3 sips? It's not fair to drink 3 sips. If I have to drink only 1 sip so that I just wet my mouth, then of course you'll drink that in 1 sip. ऐसे पूछने पड़ते हैं लोगों से. Inshallah, आज तक जो भी किया ना, whatever we have done until now, let's all do tawbah from all the wrongs that we have done, and also this sin, this huge sin, this kabira sin of having bad opinion about others. Please, let's do tawbah from every single sin that we have done. Let's ask Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness. And I would recommend that we also ask people of their forgiveness as well if you have thought bad about them. उनसे भी जाके माफ़ी मांग ले. You don't have to say it, what, I had always bad opinions about you, but you just ask them for general forgiveness. Please forgive me. You had so many rights on me, I did not fulfill your rights properly. Just ask for forgiveness. Generally, sabse maafi manga kare, because, Allah Ta'ala may forgive His rights other than shirk. Shirk, Allah Ta'ala said He will never forgive. Allah Ta'ala may forgive His other rights, but people's rights will not be forgiven until that we ask for their forgiveness. So Allah Ta'ala say, we maafi mange and logon se maafi mange. Let's all ask Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness and also people for their forgiveness. So inshallah, let's all recite these kalimat with the niyat of tawbah. Allah ki tawbah ki niyat se ye kalimat padh le. Let's all recite these kalimat with the niyat of tawbah. If there's anybody who wants to take bay'at, they can also make an extra niyat of bay'at as well. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So everybody recite these kalimat with me. Say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawmil akhiri wal qadri khayrihi wa sharrihi min Allah ta'ala wal ba'thi ba'da al-maut. Amantu billahi كما هو بأسمائه وصفاته وقبلت جميع أحكامه إقرار باللسان وتصديق بالقلب أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أستغفر الله ربي من كل ذنب وأتوب إليه برحمتك Ya Arhamar Rahimi. A few askar that our mashayikh have taught, please try to do that along with your faraid, along with your prayers, along with your other things. One is istighfar, morning, evening. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilay. Subah sham istighfar kiya kare. Istighfar pada nahi kare, istighfar kiya kare. Do istighfar, don't read istighfar. We should beg Allah for forgiveness. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilay. Second is durud, salawat on the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. That's also to be done morning, evening. Third is reciting Quran. And I've always encouraged that please recite Quran with understanding. Even though it's like a page, one ruku', but read that, recite that, read the translation, and also read the tafsir of it. Or if there is a Quran with some hashia, some commentary, then do that. But please try to recite Quran with understanding. And with the niyat of amal as well, of course, with the niyat of action. And fourth thing
last but not the least, is to do muraqabah. Muraqabah is to do the zikr of Allah Ta'ala in the heart. And the way to do that is that for some time, close your eyes, focus on the left hand side of your chest, that as if it is my heart, and my heart is doing the zikr of Allah with His name, Allah, 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 and as if I'm listening to it. Don't say it with your tongue. So once in a just listen to your heart saying it. Thodi der ke liye. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, as much as you can. ठीक है? Istighfar, salawat, Quran and muraqabah. Also have istihzar of Allah Ta'ala, awareness of Allah Ta'ala all the time. Har waqt Allah ka dhyan rakha kar. That Allah is looking at me, He knows what I do, He knows what I'm thinking. If we keep on reminding ourselves that Allah is looking, Allah is watching, then inshallah it will be so easy to stay away from sins. गुनाहों से बचना आसान हो जाएगा. ठीक है? दुआ कर लेते हैं. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह रब्बिल आलमीन. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكر إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, these people have come with so much talab and ikhlas and sincerity, Ya Allah. Because of their ikhlas, their sincerity, their talab, Ya Allah, please accept this gathering from all of us. Ya Allah, ignore my shortcomings, my slip of the tongue, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, the lack of sincerity that I have. Ya Allah, please forgive that and please still accept it from all of us. Ya Allah, once again we have done tawbah from all the sins that we have been doing. Ya Allah, please accept our tawbah, Ya Allah. Please accept our tawbah. Allah, please accept our tawbah. Ya Allah, please give us istiqamat in our tawbah, Ya Allah. Steadfastness, consistency in our tawbah. Ya Allah, our state is such that we do tawbah and we break it so quickly. Ya Allah, please give us strength to be steadfast on our tawbah. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akramal Akrameen. Ya Allah, please accept us all for the service of your deen. Ya Allah, we know we are not qabil to serve your deen, but we also know it is not about qabiliyat, it is all about qubuliyat. Please, Ya Allah, accept us. Ya Allah, please provide means from your infinite treasures to serve your deen, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please save us from all shurur and all fitnas, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please, Ya Allah, all accept our children, our generations as well, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we send our children to schools, colleges, universities. We are not with them, but you are with them, Ya Allah. We beg you that please, Ya Allah, protect them at each and every single step that they take. Ya Allah, give them the company of righteous. Ya Allah, give them the company of your awliya. Ya Allah, keep them under the shade of your awliya. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, please, Ya Allah, give them Ya Allah, keep them protected from all evil, from all sicknesses, from all sorts of magic, from all sorts of jannat, from all sorts of evil things, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please, Ya Allah, we beg you that you accept them for the service of your deen as well, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Give them the best of the dunya and give them the best of akhirat, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, have mercy on our parents. Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Ya Allah, our parents who have passed away, please forgive them, raise their darajat. Our parents who are alive, please allow us to serve them, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, make the last stage of our life the best stage of our life. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Akramal Akrameen. Ya Allah, all those people who are sick physically or spiritually, please give them perfect cure, speedy recovery, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, people who are affected by any evil things, jannat or magic or anything else, Ya Allah, we beg you that you please give them cure. Ya Allah, because everything is in your hand, Ya Allah. Innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, please be happy with us in this dunya, and especially when it is time to go back to you. Ya Allah, we beg you that you please forgive us first and then take us back. Ya Allah, please give us the tawfiq of reciting kalima first and then take us back. Allah, put that desire of having a meeting with you in our hearts first and then take us back. Ya Allah, when you send your angels, please send them with the glad tidings of your forgiveness and Jannat, Ya Allah, and then take us back. Allah, make all the stages of Akhirat easy for us. And Ya Allah, gather all of us in Jannat al-Firdaus under the feet of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam without reckoning, without questioning, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, most of it all, please grant us all your perfect vision and your everlasting pleasure, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we don't know how to ask properly, Ya Allah, please give us the best of dunya and best of akhirat, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Ya Allah, also give us beneficial ilm, Ya Allah, and allow us to act upon our ilm. Ya Allah, please remove ignorance from our hearts, remove jahalat from our hearts. Ya Allah, please make us people of akhlaq. Please make us people of akhlaq. Please make us people of akhlaq. Ya Allah, please make us from those people who spread love on this dunya, and don't make us from those people who spread hatred in this dunya, Ya Allah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم صلى الله على النبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين الحمد لله رب العالمين.